Okay, this is the second half of our first week match of UGC Highlander. I'm a part of Genesis, which is an Iron Highlander team, and this was our first actual match as a team. So, without further ado, let's start it up. We had won the first half pretty handily, actually. Some pretty well coordinated defense. They didn't actually even capture last on the first half. I was actually kind of useless though. My aim was really off, and I made a lot of pretty stupid decisions, but didn't really matter in the long term. Second half though, I started to get into more of a rhythm. Here I'm disguising as a friendly pyro. I like to disguise as a friendly class, whether pyro or sniper, to push the cart for the first few meters. So as a spy, you're kind of useless for the first few minutes until you can get behind the enemy team. But if you're disguised as a friendly class, you can still push the cart, and if you get killed, or dead ringer, while disguised as a friendly class, you kind of sell that they've killed a pyro and not a spy, which means they'll call out pyro is dead, which means their spy might be a little bit more aggressive and get himself killed by the pyro who's not actually dead. I actually pushed this way further than I thought I would, even with the Girardi on me. I'm calling out everything I see. As spy, I kind of talk the most of anyone. Get hit by the sentry up there. Combo's right there. Kind of a greedy dead ringer. Could have got the backstab, but I didn't hit the button fast enough, so I just came back and got it. I kind of sold that I was actually on their team by not reacting to them shooting at me. So here I'm disguised as an enemy, so I can get behind the sentry. It pops, so I'm kind of just waiting for it to wear off. Unfortunately, the scout sees me, so. Here I want to get behind, well behind their team. What I like to do as spy is harass the teleporter. For some reason that heavy bot that I was actually the pyro, I don't know why, but take down the teleporter. As I'm sapping the teleporter out, I'll normally go for the exit, because if you sap and then shoot the exit, they can't remove the sapper on their entrance, which means that you've taken them both easily. Whereas if you're sapping the entrance, you have to stand there and reapply the sapper many times. So here I just didn't have my dev up. Fighting lag. Yeah, my team is a West Coast team, but I'm actually on the East Coast, so my ping is often pretty bad. Sniper's right there. I tried to sneak past, but bumped the demo, so he probably heard that. Dead ring. Kind of stupid of me to run back in. I switched back to Inviswatch. Dead Ringer had served its purpose, but I wasn't really selling it anymore, so. At least I think I do. Maybe I don't. No, I believe I disguised as a friendly pyro here. Nope, never mind. I was wrong. Combo's right there. Kind of didn't want to dip my head down there because the heavy was spamming. Our scout got a pretty sneaky cap on them. Didn't really make that big of a difference because the whole team was still there, but it gave us more time to work with at least. So here I bumped into the entire enemy team. Dead. I should have just gone up the ramp, but it was, you know, what are you gonna do?
The cart isn't moving, gentlemen!
scout. Luckily our soldier's right there, so he can follow me. Our soldier goes down though, so I decided to take out their soldier. I get a bit too far away, so I couldn't get him with 2 shots, but luckily I take him out before he takes me out. So. Here I'm mostly just hunting for health. Going at 7 health. I'm still calling out everything I see though. And in the end, just decide to push the cart, grab some health and some cloak. As soon as I see the other team though, it's not worth taking on for. Here my team was going to push the cart, or push the sentry, but I ran out of cloak before they got to the sentry, so I decided to just go for the sap and shoot. Didn't end up hitting off though. Still wasn't really at peak performance yet, along with some nasty lag issues. I was just making some pretty terrible decisions. Aim was still not what it's supposed to be. In retrospect, I should have been running the revolver, but oh well. I decided to switch to the cloak and dagger because since my cloak had run out when it shouldn't have, and I wanted to be alive for the next one. Let's be pushed, and with me being able to sap it, we're able to take everything down. That is where a Spyro shines. That's what he's supposed to be doing in Highlander. I get bumped pretty hard by a little bit of a scout. Doesn't end up catching me though. Their team pulls out a third. I believe I set up a forward hold hook here, but go for the pyro. A little bit of a lag spike and a heavy though. Get me killed. Whenever presented with the opportunity to take out pyro, I normally do, because they're just a pain in the butt. Taking out the pyro frees you up to focus the medic in the combo. Shouldn't be able to. However, normally to deal with pyros, I'll just ask our soldier or our scout to do it, or at least to distract them for a little bit. Sniper's all alone. I think he is. So missed the first backstab because he randomly runs to the side. But so he goes down. In the first half, I've been caught out by the same scout in the same place by decloaking too far out, so I made sure to cloak it in barrels. Wait for the health back to respawn. I want to go for the NG here. It's a bit greedy, but I'm a bit knocked down the sentry anyways. I think I die though. Nope, I get away. That was worth doing, especially since I survived, because I didn't want to let them set up a sentry anywhere. I wanted to go for the combo here. I just didn't quite get it on the demo. And once I got Gerardied, I was doomed. Again, ping issues and whatnot. It's sometimes difficult to play a spy. A spy really shines when the two teams are evenly matched and neither team is making any headway, because you can make these one-off big picks that really swing the game in your favor. When one team is dominating the other, either your team or the other, or your team is getting dominated or you're dominating the other team, there's not really that much you can do. Because if your team is dominating their team, then the big picks that you normally have in a close game are already being taken care of by the team, which means that you're mostly just following your team around and providing. When your team is getting rolled, The other team has lots of opportunity to look around for a spy, and even though sometimes you do get a big pick that saves the game, normally what ends up happening is that Hyro can spend most of his time spy checking, which means that you don't really get it. Here the medic was at low health and I knew it, so little butter knife. This is a nice place to hide. No one knows about this. Sap. Genji. He ends up falling off though. So his sentry ends up going down even though I die. Sniper is not a great disguise in higher levels, but in lower levels, the sniper will play all by himself. So it makes sense for you to be disguised as a sniper and other far away from the combo. Get the nice NG pick here, Sentry goes down. This was clutch because my team could push the last point pretty easily off that. Their sniper followed me out into the middle of nowhere to get that pick. Really not a bad bright of him, honestly. Spy isn't that important of a pick. A sniper is far more valuable to a team than Spy. I kind of wasted my cloak here by running around cloak behind my lines. Which means that I kind of had to wait for a bit, but I'm just poking my head out. I know that I can't take them on, but I wanted to get a good look at what they had there. See the stickies on the card, I call them out, and I take out what I can. I'm not sure why the demo detonated them. Yeah. See a sentry, no NG around, but there's a spy. So I knew he was there. I didn't really expect a random headshot because he'd been running Leishron J the entire game. So oh well, go figure. Kudos to him. This last one is really difficult. So push. It's not easy for spies to get in and do anything either because there aren't really that many good places to decloak. And most of the combo is playing around the sentry, which means that you can either take out the combo or the sentry, but never both. I'm really trying to focus down the sentry, especially with my team pushing. Got to here. But it's fine because I wasn't getting any chance.
Thank you, Libra.
That was a bit of a late good cloak. I think the pipe saw me. But it's fine, I get away. He doesn't fall for the bait this time. I think I taught him one too many times not to follow me. Yeah, I'm just kind of hot-shotting heavy. No hot in it. While they lie close to each other. Scout sees me, but I get away. I'm looking to make some kind of play that will let my team go in. Heavy seems like the right pick for that, so stalk him. This was a neat little pick. There was really no reason for the Heavy to go off by himself, and just ask him to be backstepped, so. That was a greedy decloak, but I didn't know the combo was behind me, so I figured I might as well. And the sniper. Yeah, this.
The cart isn't moving, gentlemen.
Victory.
Or rather, he capped. That wasn't a great time. 13 minutes is kind of ugly, but it's not terrible either. I do think that since I've been kind of useless the entire game, the other team started to ignore me. So, this last round, I did pretty darn well. This is a nice little spot to hide with the Cloak and Dagger. Doesn't really get spot checked that often. There's not really any reason for anyone to walk past it and randomly bump it. I should have suicide for NG, but didn't end up mattering, so.
Mission begins in 30
Here I'm just kind of peeking in the doors, see who everyone is. Most often the combo pushes this side, though. Actually, though, it wasn't the case in this one. We had set up crit stickies by the shed for when the combo pushed past that little hallway or whatever by the fence. But the combo ends up pushing the other side, which was strange.
5, 4, 3.
I call it out, and we get what we can with the crit stickies, but yeah. Calling out the soldier in the NG, and go on the left. Calling out the meds, Weaver. See the sniper, I kind of wanted to go for the pick, but then the heavy and power popped out, so changed my mind pretty quickly. Here I'm getting ready to signal my demo man, and gets the heavy off it, so. Still ended up being worth doing. Scout probably gives my life there, so I can go save the sniper's life. I see the pyro's low health and so this is a neat little trick. Oftentimes people don't expect you to run around an object. Now the combo's pushing the usual spot. They're distracted, so I decloak and sniper at least. I wanted to get the medic, but he's faster than me, so. Sniper was worth the pick though, so. Teleporter goes down, which is unfortunate. Classes like Scout, Demo Man, and Soldier, it doesn't really matter that much, but for a Spy it's kind of a pain in the butt. Heavy as well. Random spam, just gonna do what I can. Sniper's all alone, so might as well get the pick. See the combo up there, and they're looking like they're about to push, so poke behind the rock. Yep. I know the sniper's dead, so I disguises him, get the heavy. Oh, it's medic. And not quite good at the pyro, so I just headshot him. That 4-kill streak there probably shut down the push for a minute or two. Sniper sees me. I get dropped, so I can't really take away. I just kind of distract him so that my sniper can get the pick. And grab the health, or rather ammo. Wanted to grab the health, but then I saw the combo, but then the combo ran away, so I just went and grabbed the health. That could have ended very badly, but the combo decided to go through the tracks instead of through the shed, so I decided against going for the combo. Instead, look at the sniper. I see the soldier following me, so instead of playing sneakily, I just make a beeline for the sniper. Got 5 kills that light, which is very good in this spot. Here I wanted to switch. I believe I'll switch to Windows Watch. Cloak and Dagger is great for the beginning because it lets you sit in places you expect the enemy team to come through, but once they start to catch on, or once they start to push through, it becomes a bit more useless. Demo Man I thought saw me. Almost hit the Razorback, but caught myself in time. The sniper hadn't been running Razorback the entire game. I think he changed his mind when I started to backstab him over and over and over again on first. Went for Razorback, but then he realized that Razorback doesn't stop bullets, so he switches off at this point. I still think the Razorback would have served him better, but Yeah, I always kind of think it's silly for a sniper not to run Razorback in any competitive format, or rather in Highlander, because it's a way to ensure that you have at least a second or two to run around and hit the spy. If you get backstabbed, there's nothing you can do. Here I wanted to go around and get the combo. I've been calling them out for a bit. Med's all alone, so I call Slit, and Soldier gets the pick. Even though I didn't end up getting the pick, it was worth separating him from his pocket. Unfortunately, I didn't get the opportunity to backstab him.
Get to the bomb cart!
It's worth noting that even though the lag looks really bad on my PREC, it's actually not that bad when I'm playing. I did get a couple of fail stabs here though. Diamond Man, always worth getting. Should have grabbed the heavy, but I thought the medic wasn't going to come out, so I decided to forego the heavy pick for the medic pick, which is far more valuable, but unfortunately the medic spins around and I get called out. Whenever you're playing Spy, you need to keep in mind that the entire enemy team is talking. So when I got the demo pick, he probably said Spy behind you, and that's why I got killed. I should have grabbed the heavy, would have shut down their push a lot stronger than just the demo pick. That being said, though, getting one pick on Spy is always worthwhile because Spy is one of the most disposable classes. Or rather, as Spy, you should make it your goal to stay alive as long as possible, but you don't do as much work as other classes. Here, the Scout's chasing me. I really want to take down the Spy, though, so follow him around. Could have got an evil trick stab on the Spy, but I was more focused, or on the Scout, but I was more focused on the Spy, so. Oh well. Scout's all alone, so I call him out, but I don't want to face him because he will be big. Sniper's all alone, so. Oh. I think I got 11 picks on their sniper this game. He had a bad habit of going off by himself with no one behind him, so. And he wasn't running Razorback. Combo's all alone. Oh. Really wanted to get the medic here, but the demo was on us. Should have run away. I had plenty of opportunity to do so, but I wanted to get the medic as lit as possible. In retrospect, I probably should have.
Stand next to the bomb!
Soldier's all alone, but I end up deciding against it because I see that the part. So Scout's gonna push the cart. Better NG. Oh. There's a tendency for classes like NG and Scout to crouch behind the cart. If you see that, it's really easy to get backstab on them because they're not looking around. Sniper was all alone again, so here I wanted to get the headshot on the Spy, but missed it. Tried to body shot him down, but in the end it wasn't worth it, and I ran away. Pop some heals off from the medic, and then hide by the dispenser for a minute. Whenever you're not near the enemy, it's always a good idea to revolver out instead of your knife. You're not doesn't do anything. Oh, that's right. The Spy body blocks the backstab. I end up getting the demo. Spy Sniper's all alone. Sniper is pretty valuable in Highlander, so you can get picked. It's definitely good. That was the big thing. They saw me decloak. I don't know how I got away with that, but I did. I'll still end up dying though, I believe. Oh no, I get extinguished. So. I like to disguise as Pyro sometimes. It's really bad if overused, but once in a while you can get sneak little picks. Obviously a spy. So I just scare him away from my scout. Call him out so the scout can go get the pick. This is a pretty sneaky little backstab.
Me?
7 picks on that life, which is fantastic. In Highlander, it's pretty tough to get backstabbed, especially, so that kind of life is definitely good. I mean, obviously. That kind of life can really swing the balance of the game. It's also a sign that I was staying alive, which is very good as Spy. Staying alive as Spy is critical, because it means that you can add cloak in front of the heavy when one's there. Staying alive as Spy is pretty critical because it means that you can be alive when pushes happen, and when pushes happen are when the smorgasbord of hits all and you get to the big chain stabs because no one's actually paying attention to you, they're paying attention to the combo in front of them. Pushing last is pretty tough, as I mentioned before. And so oftentimes teams will not pay much attention. So I believe even though the medic clearly saw me, the heavy was more distracted with what was going on around him, so I was distracted, so went up. Doesn't matter that I died there, I got the heavy and the med, so. See the heavy's peeking. I kind of play by the wall because I realized what that means. I wanted to get the sniper, but he backed up, so I didn't end up getting him. And I got killed by the pyro. I don't think I could have gotten away from that. The sniper had Jarate, pyro had fire, I was doomed. I'm not sure what I switched to here. I believe it might have been Deadringer. Deadringer's Bicycle Andy is pretty classic troll spy material, but it would be right on Highlander. So. When you're behind your own lines, it's often like just taking pot shots at enemies. The life isn't going to do anything, you might as well be useful. Here I had the Deadringer up while I tried to sap the sentry, so a little bit of a derp, but hit the snipe. I was actually surprised because I was like, oh, I thought I sapped that sentry. Nope. I can sap it later though. I believe that was why I got the sniper pick though, because if I'd sapped the sentry, the NG probably would have called out that there was a spy. So here I had no feign. I probably should have stayed back behind enemy lines, but. I only have a minute left of it. They're going to get really aggressive at this point. When the other team gets really aggressive, especially on payload, the spy can do a lot of work. Here I kind of sat on the card a little bit, popped some heals off of it, I believe. I should have copped some heals off of it. Instead I just get something from the medic. That being said, since I was running Deadringer, I couldn't really do that much to get the enemy lines without being noticed. I was checking the enemy's medic to make sure they were coming to me, I believe. Or maybe I was disguised as a friendly medic. Once in a blue moon, it's pretty valuable to disguise as a friendly medic because if they think they're dropping medic, they'll get greedy. But it doesn't work more than once. Here I disguise as an enemy to save myself from burning to death. And sitting on the cart, if they ever stood on the cart, I would have dropped the disguise and blocked it. But I did, so. And that was a win.